Yo, what's going on guys? Evan Tanaka here, back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be giving my predictions for the 250k tournament that is happening this Saturday. I'm pretty sure at 1 p.m. Eastern time. If you guys do not know, the 250k tournament is this Saturday. So I'm going to give you guys my predictions for Xbox current gen, Xbox Next, PS4, and PS5, and telling you guys who I think is going to win each matchup and who's going to come out of each bracket. Let me know in the comment section down below. Who do you guys want to win, and who do you guys think is going to win the 250k tournament? And let me know anything like that in the comment section down below. Before we get into the video, if you guys are new here, I'd really appreciate if you could subscribe down below. I post 3 to 4 Myteam videos every single day and give you guys some of the best Myteam content on the platform. So without further ado, let's get on to the video. So guys, these are the confirmed brackets for the 250k tournament, and we're just gonna kind of speed run these games, right? Just let you guys know who I think is gonna win, because I don't want you guys to sit here for too long. So versus Oh It's Insane. I haven't seen either of them play that much. I do think So is gonna win this matchup. We got Like a Book Kid versus 2A Roko. 2A Roko is Ty and Like a Book Kid is Peja. So we got Peja versus Ty. I think this will be a good game, especially on current gen, but I think Peja is better on next, so I'm gonna take Ty winning that game. We got Omen Answer PR, not really sure who that is, and we got Cash Money J, who is Carlo. I think Carlo actually is gonna win this game. A lot of people wouldn't predict that, but I do think Carlo will beat Omen. You guys can let me know in the comment section down below. I'm not sure exactly who Omen is, so let me know if you guys know who that is. Hims versus Losing Weight 294. I do know who Losing Weight is, but I know Hims personally better, and I think Hims will win this game. I think it'll be a good game, but I think Hims will win his first round matchup. On the right side of the bracket here, we got Drex versus Grussi. I do watch Grussi play a lot in his streams all the time, and have wagered him a couple times, but I've scrimmed him a bunch, so I know how Grussi is. I think he's a favorite to win Xbox current, or at least a top 3 favorite to come out of his side of the bracket, so I'm gonna say he beats Drex. Then we got Thomas versus Swaggy. I think this will be a very good game, especially on current gen, but I do think Swaggy is better on next gen, so him versus Thomas, I'm gonna say Thomas in a very close game. Creepy Ramids versus Fade to Justin or Justin. I've seen Justin play a lot in streams. I did play Creepy in an Xbox Next Gen qualifier game, and I did end up beating him, but that was on Xbox Next Gen, so it could be a lot different on current gen, but I've still taken Justin to win that game. Then we got JC versus Air Irving. Haven't seen Air Irving play that much, have seen JC play a bunch. I think this will be a very close game, but I am going to take JC in like literally a 3 to 4 point game. So those are my predictions for the first round. On to round number 2, we got So versus Ty. I think this will be a pretty easy game for Ty. I think So is better on next gen as well, so I'm gonna take Ty in a pretty easy game. I think Peja might give him a little bit more trouble. Again, could be wrong about a lot of these predictions, but these are just mine. So I have Ty going to the semifinals of his bracket. Then we got Carlo versus Hims. That'll be a very fun game to watch. I think Hims will win that, though. I think he's better than Carlo on current gen, but anything can happen in 250k tournament because it's best out of 1 and the game mode's super low. It's on like pro or all-star, but it's like, it basically feels like it's on rookie and like every shot goes in, so anything can happen in these games. It's not, maybe most times the best player doesn't win, so, or I guess I would say most times the best player wins, but sometimes the best player doesn't win. So I'm gonna say Hims beats Carlo and versus Ty in the semifinals. And then we got Grussi versus Thomas. I think this will be a very good game. I do think Grussi comes out in a very close game, like a 3, 4, 5.6 win victory. I think this will be a very fun game to watch, but I do have Grussi winning by a little bit. Haven't seen them play that much against each other, but I do have Grussi. And then we got Justin versus JC. This will also be a very fun game to watch because I do know both these guys, pretty well in the comp community or in the 2K community in general. So I'm gonna say that's a close game. Honestly, I'm gonna say Justin though. I think I'm gonna take Justin because JC, this is his first time qualifying. I'm pretty sure Justin qualified last year, so I think he'll have a little bit more experience. So I'm gonna take Justin in round number 2. And then on to the semifinals of this side of the bracket, we have Ty versus Hims. They've played a bunch this year. I'm pretty sure they've mostly played on Xbox Next Gen, so I'm not sure exactly how they faced up on current gen, but I think you have to give the 250k champ, kind of his respect. So I'm gonna take Ty to beat Hims, but I would not be surprised if Hims gave Ty an upset. And on the right side of the bracket, we do have Justin versus Grussi. That would just literally be the most fun game to watch for me because those are probably 2 of my favorite streamers to watch on Twitch, and I think 2 of the best guys on Xbox current gen. So this will be a very close game. I think I'm a back Grussi though. I think it'll be like super close. I could see Justin winning, and I could definitely see Grussie winning. So my prediction is gonna be Grussie, but honestly, would not be surprised if either of those guys won it. And then Ty versus Grussie, this would be literally the perfect matchup for me because I'm a, you know, I love watching Grussie stream and stuff like that, and I do scrim him a lot. And, you know, I'd say I'm pretty good friends with Grussie. Ty, obviously don't know him too well, but I know obviously how good he is on Xbox. So this would be a very close game. I feel like, I know I'm saying that a lot, but I think a lot of these games will be close. I do think Ty having the experience from last year's 250k tournament and winning it will help him beat Grussie. So Xbox current gen, my winner is going to be Ty. Let me know in the comment section down below, what are your guys' predictions for Xbox current gen? Moving on to next gen, also want to give a shout out for Grussie for giving me these brackets, because he came up with the, well, he made the brackets and then sent them to me. So just want to give a massive shout out to Grussie. On to Xbox next gen, we got CB versus Killa. Haven't seen Killa play that much. I have played CB a lot on Xbox next gen. If you guys don't know, I do play Xbox next. So on next gen, I've pretty much played everyone on here. I would say CB takes this game pretty easily. Then we got Grussie versus Peja. I think this will be a very close game, but the reason why I'm gonna take Grussie is the fact that if I predicted right and he makes it to the finals, he's gonna have confidence, he's gonna be playing well, he's gonna feel good, right? Maybe if he gets knocked out in the first round, he could really struggle in this game because he'll lose all his confidence, or maybe he won't lose all his confidence, but he won't be feeling as good. If he makes it to the finals like I say he would, I think he'll beat Peja just off, you know, that, and then Peja would have lost first round. So I think Grussie versus Peja, it kind of honestly depends who does better in the first round, or who does better in the current gen, because current gen plays first before next. So let's say Peja beats Ty and goes crazy, goes to the finals, and then plays Grussie, who maybe lost in the first round, then Peja could win off momentum. But I think Grussie will beat Peja, but he has struggled against Peja this year, but I do have Grussie winning that. Then Hims versus Beezus. I do think Hims is a better current gen player, so I'm gonna take Beezus in this one. I hope Hims wins, but I'm gonna take Beezus. Then we got Swaggy versus Ali. I did lose to Ali in the last qualifier, so he did beat me, but honestly, it was a really close game, and I've had harder games against Swaggy. I've played Swaggy a bunch, so I'm gonna have Swaggy beating Ali. We got Ty versus AOT Trey. Haven't played Trey that much. I think I played one, maybe two times. Obviously played Ty a good amount, so I would say Ty wins that one pretty easily. We got DW Zone versus Blessed. I think Blessed is honestly a dark horse in this tournament. I do have him beating DW Zone in a pretty close game, but I do think Blessed wins it. Then we got Austin, probably more known as Lollygag versus Agent. I have played Lolly a couple times. He's beat me I don't think I've ever beat Lolly, but that's because it's mostly on West, because he plays on West, but he's a very good 2K player. I would say he probably beats Agent. And then FaZe versus JJEBK. I do think FaZe is another kind of dark horse of Xbox Next Gen. I do think he beats him and versus Lolly in the second round. Then in the second round here, we would have CB versus Grussie. I think this would be a very, very good game to watch. I do think Grussie takes it though. I think he'll have a harder game against Peja than CB. Realistically, I think CB is really good, but I think Peja and him are kind of close. I think Grussie struggles more against Peja than he does against CB, so I'm gonna have Grussie beating CB. And then we got Beezus versus Swaggy. I think Swaggy does take that game. I think Swaggy's super good at next gen. I could see him making a big run in this tournament. On the right side of the bracket here, we got Ty versus Blessed. And this is where we say the upset. I don't see Ty winning on Xbox Next Gen, so I'm gonna say Blessed does beat Ty. If Blessed doesn't beat him, I think somebody on this list will end up beating Ty. I don't think he wins Xbox Next Gen. Obviously, he's a 250k champ, and let's say he did win the current gen, he would have a lot of momentum. But I think that might actually hurt Ty in the long run. I think if Ty loses current gen, I think he'll have a good shot to win Xbox Next. But I think he might be a little bit more settled and more relaxed, which is good and a bad thing if you're playing a hunger guy like Blessed, right? Like Blessed wants to win so bad. All these guys that maybe got knocked out on current gen, like Hims, like Grussie, like Peja, that got knocked out, are gonna be really kind of wanting to win this, right? Where Ty might be more relaxed and he might be more like, oh, I already won on 250k, right? I already won on current gen, sorry. He might be a little bit more relaxed. So I'm gonna take Blessed as the upset. If it's not Blessed, I just see someone else beating Ty, but I think Blessed really could beat him. That's my prediction, honestly. I know it's an upset, but I'm gonna go with Blessed. Then we got Lolly versus FaZe. Like I said, FaZe, I think another dark horse in this tournament. I do think he ends up beating Lolly. So then on the left side of the screen, we got Grussie versus Swaggy. This would be a very good game to watch. I think this would be super, super close. I'm gonna take Swaggy winning though. Realistically, I do think Swaggy's gonna win this against Grussie. I think Grussie will kind of have that same kind of, you know, maybe PTSD from playing Ty in the finals. He would have got this far to play Swaggy. He would have been really hungry. I do understand that, but I do think Swaggy wins this game. I think Grussie does have a better chance on Xbox Current than he does have on Xbox Next, because I kind of know what he's been doing. So I would say Grussie versus Swaggy, I'm gonna give that to Swaggy. And then Blessed versus FaZe, I think these are two dark horses of the tournament. I do think Blessed ends up winning that game though, and then the finals is going to be Swaggy versus Blessed, which I think will be a very good game to watch, but I do have Swaggy coming away with that. So for Xbox Next Gen, my finals winner, who's going on to the 250K finals, is going to be Swaggy. Let me know in the comment section down below, what would you guys pick for the Xbox Next bracket? Okay guys, on to PS4 bracket. Now these are going to have to be some really just random guesses, because I don't play PS4. I know a bunch of these people on this list, but not really too familiar with how they actually play. So we're just going to kind of speed run this, right? Not really into the PS4 side. I think Splash beats Authentic. I do know who Authentic is. I think Splash does end up beating him. Giants Fan versus Onus. I do think Giants Fans wins that one. I know who he is. He's actually really good at the game. Then we got Jin versus Most Feared. I think Jin is super good. I think Jin is going to win that matchup. Then we got Chandler versus King LeBron. As much as I want Chandler to win, I do think King LeBron does win that. Onto the right side of the bracket, we got I Am Vardom. I think his name is Vardom or something like that. Him versus 11. I do think 11 wins that. He's super tough on PS4. Then we got Clamps versus, is it Cincinnatius or Cinca? That's the unlimited award. It's like Cincinnatius. I apologize if I don't know how to say his name. Clamps, I do think wins that game though. And then we got Malik versus Clipped. I do know both these guys, seen them play. I think Clipped is going to win that one. Then we got Anger versus Cash Mr. Money. I think Anger is going to win that one. I think Anger could make a run in this tournament. So then on the left side, we would have Giants Fan versus Splash. I do see Splash winning that one. I think that'll be a cool game to see, because Giants Fan is kind of like a masher, right? Kind of works more on the post, and Splash is obviously a three-point hunter. So I think that'd be a really cool game to see, kind of two different play styles matching up against each other. Then we got Jin versus King LeBron, and I do see Jin beating him. Again, don't really know how King LeBron plays. I have seen Jin play a couple times. So like I said, guys, these predictions on PS4 and PS5 could obviously be wrong, like literally all of them, because I'm not too in tune with the PS4 side. Like I know a good amount of people, but really don't know who matches up against who. So like my predictions on Xbox Current and Next are more likely to be true. That's kind of why we're just speed running it here. So I do think Jin does end up beating King LeBron. On the right side, we do have 11 versus Clamps. I do think 11 is going to win that game. I have seen him play a couple times. He looks really good to me. So Clipped versus Anger, I do think Anger ends up winning this. I think Anger is going to make a big run. On the left side in the finals, it would be Splash versus Jin. Would be a good game. I do think Splash takes that. That would be a very good game. I think Splash is better on the PS5 than the PS4, but I still see him winning on PS4. And then on the PS4 side of the bracket on the right, it's going to be, I'm pretty sure I had 11. Yeah, 11 beating Clamps, and I had Anger beating Clip. So Anger versus 11, I think 11 is going to win that one. I think he's going to make it all the way to the finals. And the finals for me is going to be Splash versus 11. And I think Splash is going to come away with that game, and he is going to win on the PS4 side. Like I said, I'm kind of picking Splash more because I don't really know anybody else on this. Like, for example, I know Bless could maybe be Ty. Like, Ty and Splash are like the two big names in these tournaments, right? And the two most, like, you know, most, I'd probably say favorited to win each other brackets. So for me, I could see Bless, I could see Grussie, I could be some of these guys beating Ty. But on PS, I don't know really who's like the dark horse. I don't know who gives Splash good games. So I'm going to pick Splash for PS4. If you guys play PS4 and you know more about comp community on the PS side, let me know in the comment section down below, you know, kind of who's really good, and let me know all that type of stuff for the PS side of the bracket. And then finally here, PS5, like I said, don't really know a lot of people on this list. Like, I know a lot of people, just don't really know how they play in game. First game, then we got ISO Dill or Dill. Dill's really good versus Dunk God. I do think Dill does take that game. I know Dill is really good. Kenny Zeus, I think it's say Kenny Zeus versus Deep Pockets. I know Kenny's really good, so I'm going to take Kenny in this game. T-Loading versus West Seattle Made. I think T-Loading does take this. Hoff Elijah versus J Money Rep. I'm going to take Elijah one. I know he's really good at the game. Jin again versus Baller for Life. I'm going to take Jin. We got Splash versus Cash Mr. Money. Of course, going to take Splash. We got Philly Made Pep. Going to take him probably over the Unsold Product, mainly because he's a higher seed. Don't know either of these guys and how they play. Definitive, I think it is, versus Giants Fan. I'm going to take Giants Fan, honestly. I think he's really good at this game. I've seen him play a couple times. So I'm going to take Giants Fan to move on to the second round. On this side would be Dill versus Kenny. I'm going to take Dill in that matchup. Then on the left side, we got T-Loading versus Elijah One. And I'm going to take Elijah One. Honestly, I think Elijah One could make a run kind of like Anger did in the PS4 bracket. On the right side would be Splash versus Jin again. I think Splash would take it again. I think he's got a better shot on PS5 than he does on PS4. So maybe you could say Jin beats him on PS4, but I think on PS5, Splash does beat him. And then we got Philly Made Prep versus or did I take the, no, I took Philly, I took Philly Made Prep versus Giants Fan. I do think Giants Fans wins that. Like I said, don't really know who Philly Made Prep is, so he could, or Pep, he could just be an absolute demon, so could definitely be wrong on that prediction. On the left side, we would have Dill versus Elijah, and I do think Dill ends up winning that and moving on to the finals. And then we'd have Splash versus Giants Fan, and I think Splash does win that. And then in the finals, Splash versus Dill, I'm gonna take Splash again. Like I said, that's kind of going off the fact that I don't really know who could really beat Splash on this because I'm not really in tune with the PS side of the bracket. So this predictions for PS4 and PS5 are kind of just based off Splash just being an absolute demon and being the favorite to win. So I'm kind of just going with the favorite on PS4 and PS5 side of the bracket. But you guys let me know in the comment section down below what predictions you guys think, what predictions will you guys make for PS4, PS5, and obviously Xbox Next and Xbox Current. I'm mainly taking Xbox Current and Xbox Next seriously when I make my predictions. Like I actually thought about it. On PS5, I'm just kind of going through who I've seen play, who I kind of know in the community, and taking those type of names. Hope you guys enjoyed this video though. Let me know your predictions in the comment section down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.